Happy day after Halloween, guys, by the time you're watching it, or if you're watching it when I upload it, happy Halloween. We're going to just do a little tutorial to go over blending modes and layer masks. I know the MCA kids are very familiar with this, but then hopefully this will just be a fun little tutorial, and it's definitely something that you'll use in photo editing over and over, especially layer masks. So in class, I will have taken your portrait, or maybe Ari will have taken your portrait, and I'll upload it to this folder that will be linked in Google Classroom. So find your portrait, and please be respectful of other people's pictures. So unless you have permission to download their picture and edit it, please just do your own. So make sure you open the image. You'll probably need to right-click on it and say Open in New Window so that you can actually download it. So make sure you're actually downloading the file so that it becomes a raw file, c.cr2, Canon RAW. I actually don't know what the 2 stands for. Someone want to figure it out? Okay, so you'll download your file near your computer, and you'll also download from the assignment ahead of time. Download one of these skulls, these .pngs, if you look down here. So download either the front view, the side view, or the 3/4 view, whichever one matches the orientation of your face a little bit. So I'm going to be working with the front skull. Even though you can see my ear in this picture, the front one better lined up with my face, and I don't want to retake the picture, so I'll just use the front one. Okay, so download your raw file and then go ahead and open it up in Lightroom. So import it into Lightroom. So these are already imported, or I actually just tethered it to the computer, so they're already in here. So it's like a cooking show, right, where they are like, oh, and magically we are done the dish. So here's the original photo. Hi, Maria. Sorry, I'm recording a video. I'm not just talking to myself.
No, I thought you were talking to someone.
Oh no, yeah, I'm recording a video. And then so I'm just gonna crop the photo and do some light editing on it. That's Maria. She's our awesome custodian. You guys don't get to see her, but she comes every afternoon. So I'm going to use a 4:5 crop because I like that ratio. It's up to you. Just to get rid of some of this in the background and so you can focus on my face. And then I'm going to press enter. Okay, you don't need to stress about editing out blemishes or anything unless you want to. I mean, it's your photo. But I'm not grading you on that. I'm grading you on how effectively are you using blending modes and layer masks. So maybe I'll just brighten it a little bit. Maybe I'll just add a little bit of contrast. Not too stressed about making this look, you know, all-star quality. So great. So it's edited the way you want. And then you're going to open it in Photoshop. So I'm right-clicking on that image, and I'm saying Edit in Adobe Photoshop. If it asks you if you want to apply the changes, say yes. Yeah, we want to apply the changes we just did in Lightroom. Great, so I have the picture of me now in Photoshop. And you could do some further editing if you want, like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll just, you know, like, oh, awkward, you're going to look really, oh, geez, too close, too close, too close. All right, so if you wanted to use the healing brush, right, and just, okay, there we go, just having, okay, I'll just get rid of, okay. Wanted to like edit out some things. Wow, you can see everything. That's kind of disturbing. Okay, go back. What happened to my eye? History. Oh, I accidentally brushed on my eye. So we'll just go back to open. So thanks for being patient with me, guys. So now we're going to go to File, Place, Embedded. So we're going to place the image of the skull. And if you don't like these skulls, that's fine. I'm not offended that much. So just make sure, I picked these PNGs because they had a transparent background because it'll make it easier to edit. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So say okay. So see how it already has a transparent background? It'll just save you a step from kind of cutting it out. You can see this box around it. That's what happens when you place it. So you're going to transform it now so it matches up with your face. So I'm going to drop the opacity on it, so make sure you can see your layers panel. If you can't see your layers panel over here, make sure you're in like a photography workspace. But I'm going to drop down the opacity so it's just a little bit transparent so I can actually line up the skull a little bit better with my features. So I'm going to hold down Shift and then drag the corner so it doesn't distort it, so I can maintain the proper proportions. And I'm going to rotate it just slightly, see if I can line some stuff up. Okay, yeah, and this isn't perfect, you know, it's just a tutorial. Okay, but you guys should take a little bit more time. I'm trying to be conscious of your time to give you guys enough time to do it. And if you don't finish by on block day, that's fine too. This isn't due until Friday. Okay. All right, we will call this close enough. Yeah. Press enter to finalize the transformation. All right, I'm going to bring my opacity on that layer, on the skull layer, back up to 100. Ooh, it's a masterpiece. And now we're going to play with the blending modes. So see where it says normal? You're going to click on where it says normal because normal is boring. We don't like normal. And you're going to play around with these different blending modes until you see the one that you're most satisfied with. Well, that's actually kind of cool. I think for the other one I used multiply, or maybe I used overlay. So you can play around and see which one you actually like. I actually kind of like that one. And then you can also then drop the opacity as well to get what you want. Ooh, I actually like this one better than the other one I did. Okay, so now you've done the blending mode. These are the blending modes, you know, where you pick something different from normal. And basically it changes the way that the top layer interacts with the bottom layer. As you might say, blends them together. Now we're going to start doing the layer masks because I don't want this whole skull. I just want half the skull. And it's up to you. You know, you could do the left side, the right side. I'll give you the freedom of choice. Go down here. You see on the bottom where add layer mask. Click on that. It's the rectangle with a circle cut out of it, and a white layer should appear. Go over to your toolbar, get your brush, and wherever we paint on it, paint on the layer mask. You see how it's selected, it has some little white lines around it. Wherever we paint on it with a black paintbrush, it blocks it. Okay, so wherever we paint on with a white paintbrush, it gets it back. So it's a non-destructive editing. So we can always get back the layer versus the eraser tool, you can't get it back. Okay, the shortcuts for making your brush bigger or smaller are the bracket keys on your keyboard. So the right bracket key makes it larger, the left bracket key makes it smaller. That's near the letter, right next to the letter P on your keyboard. If you want to do it the long way, you can go up here to your upper left-hand corner, and you can make, this is the brush size, and hardness is how to find the edges. So right now I'm using a really soft brush, and you see how that makes it, you know, the edges are kind of, it's softer. I'm sorry, I'm using the word to define the word. It's not helpful, I know. Versus here, I'll show you. You know what? I'll show you. Hardness, right? So if you have hardness, see how it's kind of a clean thing versus I like a softer brush so that I can, it gives it sort of the fuzzy edge look. There we go, that's the word I'm looking for. The edges are fuzzier. So I'm going to kind of remove, mask it out, and you can see on my mask here how much I'm removing. So you can also adjust the opacity of that brush. So 100% of course will completely hide the skull, and then again if you want it back, flip to the white brush, you can get part of the skull back. Okay, the black brush is just hiding it. It's not removing it, it's just hiding. It's just hiding. So I like to use kind of a lower opacity brush, and again I'm rushing, so I'm going to try and do like half my face here. So it's kind of blended in, and I'm just doing that. Right. And then of course if you want, you know, reposition it, go back to your move tool. If you need to move anything, realign it, get it looking good so it's more, you know, more perfect. Things like that. Okay, mask. See, this is just a quick edit, but yeah, play around with it till it looks good. What I'm looking for in your assignment is it lined up? Does it look blended in cleanly? And then if you want, that other one I did, I converted it to black and white. So you, of course, then can add any adjustment layers you want. Like you could do a levels adjustment layer just to add like a little bit more contrast to your image, right? You could then do, like I did, a black and white adjustment layer. Again, that's your half and half circle, right? And then you can do your black and white adjustment layer to see which one looks better for you. I think I was wearing a pink shirt. Yeah, so you can see there's a lot of magenta in my shirt and my skin tones, of course. And then when I move the, okay. All right. So we'll call that good just for tutorial, but you guys should spend a little bit more time on it. So save this as a Photoshop file so you can always get back to the layers. So we go File, Save As, and I'm going to call this Dia de los Muertos demo.psd. I'm going to replace my other demo. Go for Format. Yours might look a little different because you're on the PCs. Format Photoshop, Save. Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, and then I'll flatten it and save it as a JPEG so I can turn it into the tutorial. Still saving. When it's done, Layer, Flatten Image, File, Save As, instead of Photoshop, JPEG. Save, Replace. Quality 12, okay, and then turn this JPEG into the tutorial assignment in Google Classroom. Et voila! You are done. And then if you want to just have fun, you can do it like on a celebrity photo. Just look for a high-res photo. A nice family portrait if you have one. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys come up with. All right, bye.